All right. So today we're going to walk through, first and foremost, the long form version of the ultimate opt in page that'll create a cult like presence immediately from the first interaction. And what I want to do is outline the theory that goes into everything here. Because first and foremost, what we need to understand is that the goal of your opt in page is to sell you immediately. The thing that they should be signing up for is not some checklist or some sort of guide or free piece of content that they can get, but they should be signing up to hear from you on a regular basis. And because that's the goal, that's what we want them to do, that's what we're going to push in our opt-in page. Because you see, when we pull this bait and switch that comes with a lead magnet or some other sort of freebie opt-in, what happens is we immediately violate the expectations of the person who subscribes to our list. You see, we tell them, hey, I'm going to give you something of value that may or may not help you. In exchange, I'm going to be able to sell to you on a regular basis. Now, that doesn't sound congruent with what the purpose is in the first place. Because you see, if the goal of an email list is to gather a group of people who are somewhat similar to you and can benefit from the content that you want to share on a regular basis, where you have things that you can sell them along the way that can help them solve those problems, well, then we want to be very clear about what the direction is from the start. And so in order to do that, there are a few things that we're going to want to cover inside of that process. And the way that I'm going to frame that is in questions that we need to make sure we're answering. First and foremost, it's who do you help? Next, what do you help them to do? Third, how the hell do you actually go about doing that? And fourth, why should they listen to you and what you think? Who are you to tell them about said topic? Next, we want to make sure we tell a story. We present some real and serious value. We make a call back to the story, the problem, and the solution near the end. And then we hammer it home with something ultra compelling and very fun and super supportive along the way. Now, if you're taking a look at what I specifically have going on here, I'm going to give you a template that's going to walk through every aspect of this, and you'll be able to download that down below. It's in a Google Doc that's nice and easy for you to go ahead and copy and insert your own copy into along the way. But where I like to start to make things really easy is to begin with a problem question. And for me, it's that, is your email list on life support? The next thing that I want to make sure that I do is reassure them that they're in the right place, and I do so very blatantly here, and give context and start to display authority. So in my case, my email newsletter is all about helping people build an audience of diehard subscribers that can't wait to buy from them, that they can continue to sell through on their email list for years to come. So what might be a qualifying factor in my scenario? Well, it's probably sending a lot of emails, and that's why I illustrate here immediately to display authority. I've sent tens of thousands of emails that have made millions for massive companies, and all it's made me want to do is one thing. This is where we start to introduce my mission statement. And that's to help fast-growing, email-hesitant entrepreneurs like you build the biggest asset your business could ever have. An ultra-profitable email list packed with diehard fans that cannot wait to buy from you. Now, we want to make sure that I position what we have to offer on this page, which is going to be my newsletter and my emails, as a solution to that problem, as a way to get them to the state that we just promised. How do we do that? Want free emails that will show you how to do all of that and more? Perfect. And then I insert it with a button as a bold claim to follow up. Sign up for the best daily emails on unconventional email marketing. Now, what I go to do after that, this is an option for you, right? Because we've been so conditioned to present these lead magnets and these pieces of free content. And I don't think that there's no place for them, but I think that they're much better off as bonuses than they are as the main driver for someone to sign up. What I offer is a sneak peek of what you can expect on the email list. Now, here's where we start to tell a story, and words like imagine or what if are really great ways to preface this, and they tell your client or your customer or your subscriber potentially that this is where they can picture themselves. Imagine waking up, sending an email to your subscriber, and seeing Stripe notifications and replies galore ping on your phone just a few minutes later. Show them the finished state where they could be if they follow along with everything that you share with them. But I want to draw back to empathy and tell them why I understand. And potentially, in my case, I want to call it a villain. Today, you're having a hard time figuring out how to add more folks to your feeble list and come up with something halfway decent to send to them. Again, what if I told you could have an entire empire of diehard fans at your beck and call with only a few hours each week? Now, what I'm going to do here is start to refute it, right? And call out the claim. And before you call bullshit, I want to assure you it is 100% possible. Again, reassuring. If you follow the content and the value that we're going to share here, you have the right systems in place. And you ignore a lot of the conventional crap marketing gurus are shoving down your throat. This is where I introduce my villain. And trust me when I say I understand just how difficult it is to get started. Empathy. Again, that's why, and here's the kicker, right? That's why we introduce your solution and what the emails are. So now I've told you a story of exactly why I'm giving this value, sharing this content. I've driven it back to something concrete that as a potential subscriber, I understand I'm going to get the second that I sign up. I'm sharing list growth gold, guerrilla email marketing strategies, and biz growth secrets all on my free list. Now here's where I think you can introduce your lead magnets, if you want to call them. And the way that I highlight that is that you get free access to these things that I should be charging a hell of a lot more. For me, it's a series of masterclasses that are all very closely tied to the solution that I want to present. Plus, it's another email series, or in this case, another speech that's 6 steps to building bulletproof offers your audience will love. These are all things that should cost money to attend and that provide literally about 3.5 hours worth of insanely valuable content that most people paid a large sum of money to attend, either through a mastermind or in whatever time they took out of their day in order to get there. Now, we really drive it home down here at the end, and that's in getting all this free content, but the lead magnets, the bonuses, they're not the main reason you're here. The main reason that you're here is so you can learn how you can solve your problems, plus, big plus, we give a quick win. You get fresh business ideas you can steal and implement immediately. Exclusive interviews with other successful entrepreneurs and more. This sounds like an extreme amount of value in exchange for an email. And it sounds like there's a very transparent subject and method of delivery that they're going to get. So what I do is tell them that they could sign up for all of that. They make sure they know exactly what they're getting, what I'm going to send to them, and from down here, how often, for free. And that's where we close it out. I give a fun disclaimer down here that discourages opt-outs and things like that. It's by no means necessary. But what I do encourage you to do is follow along with this template, if only to make the content that they receive from you on a regular basis the main driver behind signing up for your list, and not a superficial lead magnet.